All right, what is up, friend and fellow Antinetter? Scott Shepard here, the analog knowledge revolutionary, coming to you here live on a Tuesday at 12:07 post meridian. And today I want to talk about something that is super powerful that doesn't get mentioned enough. And it is something I talk a lot about in my forthcoming and upcoming book. And it is something called neuroimprinting or neural imprinting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through neural imprinting and how I practice it and where I store my neuro imprints in my own Antinet. So anyways, let's flip this around. Let me show you. First off, let's take a step back because it's been a while. This is an Antinet, of course, a analog knowledge machine that will turn you into a deep reader, researcher, writer, and thinker. And emphasize the word deep. This is a thing that turns you into a writing machine, but not just something that is, one of the typical practices of turning you into a writing machine, like forcing you to have assiduity, which means essentially sitting on your ass until you do something. This is a form of knowledge development that teaches you how to become a deep writing machine, meaning writing deeply footnoted, deeply pieces of work. And there's three components to this system: the Antinet Zettelkasten in German. The index, that is the first one. The second component is the main boxes, which store note cards with numeric alpha addresses. Every single note card is essentially a thought that is instantiated with its own unique numeric alpha card address. Think of it kind of like an IP address in computer science terms. And the third component is the bibliography box. This box is essentially notes that are directly from readings. They contain very brief thoughts, and they act as a staging post for you to develop and fully flesh out deeper thoughts in the main box, the main section of your Antinet. So what we're going to be talking about today is that of neuroimprinting. So what I do is I navigate over to the N section of my index, and I find neuro, and then imprinting. And then I have various sections. And the one I want to show you is the sales letter sections and the books and other section, which is 5248 and 5249. So when we navigate over to 5248 and 5249, it falls within this range, okay? Now I've gone ahead, and the green card is just like a bookmark. I've already taken the chunk out and I laid them out, 5248 and 5249, on my desk. Now, here is the first section, 5248. You'll see in the top right, I have 5248/2/1. The /2 is because this is my second letter, or the second piece that I've neuro imprinted. So this entire piece is 5248/2. And then this is the first part of that, right? The first paragraph, 5248/2/1. The next card is 5248/2/2, and on and on and on until that letter completes, which it completes in this stack. The next letter that I've neuro imprinted on my mind is another Gary Halbert letter. Gary Halbert is known as the Prince of Print in copywriting, and he is a very fine copywriter, very funny, unique individual as well. And I've neuro imprinted another letter of his, and I started doing this one today, and I'm decided to do it because I've been motivated and prompted by a course taught by a guy named Sam Parr, who says, hey, you should neuro imprint letters. And he surfaced this letter to me that haven't neuro imprinted yet. So I started doing it. I also have some sections over here. This is the book Sapiens, and I've gotten down to the table of contents before I said, you know what, I gotta get on with my day, start doing something apparently. So I left off. But the cool thing about the Antinet and this whole system is that you can leave off, and then I can come back and start developing this again easily and start continuing the development asynchronously. And then this row is for the 4-hour work week. And then this, most interestingly, is Nicholas Luhmann's actual section from his own Antinet about him writing about his Zettelkasten. So, I basically went to the Nicholas Luhmann archive, translated it into English, and then neuroimprinted every single card. So his card is actually 9/8, which really maps onto 9000/8. But to store it in my own Antinet, I put it in 5249/9/8. And then on and on and on, you can see. And this section was very, very important. I mean, this is essentially one of the many pieces of knowledge that I've neuroimprinted from Luhmann's own Antinet. And, if you want to understand how something really works, the best way to do it is by neuroimprinting it. So this entire section right here, all these cards are Luhmann's actual, note cards that he used. And it's like, if you stop to do this, you'll actually pick up a lot of overlooked pieces of details that everyone else seems to think they know and understand. And then, before you know it, you have 2,000 Obsidian files sitting there and you're drowning in, bubble graphs and all that filth. So it's impossible for me to make a video without doing a little digital Obsidian bashing. So pardon me. Last but not least, this concept of neuroimprinting, I didn't intend to pull up this book right now, but you know what, it just seems natural to do so, so I might as well advertise it. Here's this book. I've been working on this for the past year and a half. It is finally here. Here are 3 proofs that I got of it. And this book is a 594-page beast. I thought that, well, if I'm going to write about a knowledge system that turns you into a reading, writing, thinking machine, then I should actually prove it out that it actually does turn you into a writing machine. And so this does indeed seem to show that. It's kind of like a mic drop, if you will, in the world of knowledge management, knowledge development. This is a deeply footnoted book, and that's one key distinction, that when you adopt an Antinet and when you slow your mind down and when you actually get to the writing part, you've done so much pre-processing of your thoughts that you end up creating deeply footnoted, deeply researched pieces of work, which is a lot different from the conventional writing advice and online writing advice you see out there, which is like essentially to have a lot of assiduity, which essentially means, like I said, sitting on your ass until you do it. The Antinet allows you to, well, be a slacker and still produce a prolific amount of work, because you slow your mind down and you do it deliberately, one thought, one note at a time. So that's it. And before I go, I actually do want to show you one more thing, is one letter that I published on my website, and which is essentially an email, is on scottshepper.com, is email number 29. So if you want to neuroimprint a piece of writing, I would recommend doing half of this. I think it's a very long, as you may know, I write free-flowing and it can get pretty long and extensive. So, if you have the time, then do the full thing. Otherwise, I think that this letter, number 29, is a good piece of writing to start on for neuroimprinting. Otherwise, if you don't want to write down pieces of work by the analog knowledge revolutionary himself and the underground legend of copywriting in his own mind, then be my guest. Write something else down that you find that resonates with you. I've written out the first chapter of The Great Gatsby. There's also poetry that you can write out. And if you want to improve your writing and become a writing machine, then implement the practice of neuroimprinting. That's it. End of story. And I hope this helps you out. Stay crispy, my friends. Peace and love. Scott Shepper, over and out. Bye-bye now.